Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Trouble with your gear, or Sancfordian, dear. Anything else?
First the skies, then the crystal. Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. I'm gonna make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have, but I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and we must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies, and as you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring all... Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen have...
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive, and as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on them.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with... I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person... I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dhalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you for...
Excellent.
No.
Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... Nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will? How? Where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Cid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless, and even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When Ether started lapping at the walls...
leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Cid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Cid. There was a name in the prison register. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit walls. Just beyond the... We should head there as quickly as we can.
As do I, Dora.
Cid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreak. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you...
I don't mind, but... why?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to this sort of scouting. We're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Cid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
What do you think happened?
Cid! You have to help us!
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No? Well, yes.
It's Miss Midadol. She's been acting strange. Very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Cid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together?
Why don't I go?
You do that. She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare me.
Thanks for the warning. Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if her godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Aldil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find...
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Mididol mentioned a new project yet?
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I...
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory, or rather... It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mine. We were tortured until we feared no pain, and few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. They cannot fade away. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every...
You were a good friend, but the fact remains that Ash is...
Sid.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Badbach.
You will?
I won't let you risk...
I don't...
You can start by telling me where I'll find this...
Vida Grace. Hidden in a forest.
All right.
May the mothers go...
Do you suppose it's magic keeping this thing afloat?
What else could it be? Has Mididol mentioned?
How may I help you today, Clive? Hasn't been delivered yet, I'm afraid. Sorry, but you're not quite there yet.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. All what's left of the village anyway, but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye?
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Oh, no. Well met, Cid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Cid. There are no masters here.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Cid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like...
You clearly have good intentions, Ember.
So, what?
You haven't even... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits. I won't let you down.
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets.
I would speak. Duke, about the demands.
Saw the captain just now. Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clark?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison, and the town was left all but unguarded. So Philippe was compelled, and though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, so I was wondering if you would lend them your strength.
Of course.
Thank you, Claire. Philippe?
Where can I find the mistress of this?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to...
Very well. Let us... I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. He must be made to face the consequence.
And who would make...
I would. myself and several other like were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from north.
Does that not seem a trifle?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this, scornful of the opinions of anyone but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk we must fight him.
Fight him? Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no if you will extend me the same courtesy. I bid you good day.
She certainly...
Indeed, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her...
Families.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but perhaps it's better...
Right away.
It's just a pity.
Your town needs you.
What does the dame have to say about all this?
So you are content to abandon... Please, if you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your...
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone...
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you
Could hardly get a word like far.
She made a nun hoping to convince...
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway.
Our mutual friend.
Oh, right, as all. We've had...
They're back.
Seems that we haven't been able to confirm.
Right.
You know...
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Clive! Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. I dispatched the few that I found.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should... You head...
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been stirring up ill...
What? I'll do what I can to calm. Be careful.
Don't worry.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sanbreque, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of men. Should any of your men be injured, take them to...
Thank you, milady.
I'll play my part. You still want for numbers. I only hope I can go some Philippe.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to I-40.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank...
Till then, madame.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
I wonder how they better hurry back to town.
Clive.
And you. The road to Oriflamme. How did you and your men?
Oh, we ended up...
Glad to hear it.
Well, I thank you both.
You were right. And I had thought that without a strong hand, they would drift apart. To be born hither, but you, not by force, nor by the exercise of, but by simply being one of them.
Our purpose was ever the same. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision.
You have the right of it again, as did you. His radiance said it himself. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too. I should never have taken things. I only wanted you to understand how I...
Do not blame yourself. I should have listened to...
Your Eminence, your lady. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not, and we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. And today there are more than ever before.
Madam, I see that it is not men like...
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. And that goes for you. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this...
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving.
Can we get you anything?
There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? But I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving. Half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here. In Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in. That fed us, clothed us, and those that could be healed at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived, but at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kindness, that I would repay my debt.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with...
Perhaps that is why I have such a soft... Never stop fighting, and I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of... And what of you? Can we count?
Always. Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him. one. Of course.
The garrison said they'd take another 100 of these spots.
Those whites will think twice before attacking us again.
Seems the Duke's had a change of heart.
We've got more pips than the
I
Vale's
hear
got.
the Duke's agreed to let us keep our land.
Got any more of those special elixirs?
Where is Ember?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nerve.
The right man for... I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir.
But Sid...
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I...
Of course. Don't you leave my son.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
Is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you...
Allow me.
I don't need...
Please, this won't take long.
You're right, man.
Farewell. A little longer than... Field Marshal, are either of you injured?
No, my lord. Fucking traitors. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so... It's a fucking... Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the outlaw?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring.
Before I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all...
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of... All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most
I'm flattered, and I have other problems to attend. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw?
Of a different kind.
Well, I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the...
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here.
If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment...
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue. He sent an owl some while ago, but